Yeah, there's a see Kurt had a base hit. Didn't hit it super hard on a slider, but definitely base hit. And then I think Mustakis had a potential. He hit a changeup kind of in the gap, not super deep. Didn't hit it too hard. Probably an out. Um, Nick had a hit a ball pretty hard. It was a fly ball to right, and then the pitch after that, obviously he hit way out. But that was after I'd already finished my session. So yeah, there's one very loud contact.
How many pitches total did you throw?
Not enough. Yeah, I don't know honestly, but I'll check my catapult system in a second when I upload it to my computer, and then I'll have an idea of exactly how many I threw.
I saw
No,
cool. Oh, go ahead, Trent.
when we talked to Derek the other day, DJ the other day, he talked about, how you are open to a lot of different things, or maybe he's open to a lot of different things that you would like. How much have you talked to him about ways to attack this 60 game season that might be a little bit different than a 162 game?
Quite a bit. I've I've applied some friendly pressure to him. I guess is how you could say it. But basically, just letting him know that like I want to pitch as much as possible, as often as possible. You don't have to worry about wearing down over the course of a long season. We got a 2 month sprint and then a month of playoffs. So generally speaking, that's right in the middle of the year on a normal year, where you're just kind of starting to hit your peak before you hit that kind of August lull, end of July, August lull. And you don't have to worry about that this year. So, I mean, the more innings, the better. The more pitches, the better. Let me, as long as I'm doing well and helping us win, I just want to be out there as much as possible.
Do you
I feel
think a
like
season
maybe
like this really works with your skill set, since that this is a good time for experimentation and you're pretty open to that kind of stuff?
Uh, Kind of. I've spent a lot of time. Let's see, how do I say this? My skill set's built for a long season. Like I'm super durable, and I train that way to make it through a long season and to be healthy and durable and throw a lot of innings, a lot of pitches. I'm not as good as at a sprint because I just haven't built myself that way. But obviously, understanding that this season was going to be shorter, I spent the last 3 months building myself more for the sprint. So yeah, I feel like I'm in a good spot. My velo is going to be up. Hopefully a mile, probably about a mile an hour. Hopefully more, but I'm pretty confident it'll be up about a mile an hour from last year. So I'm in a better position for the sprint. And then as far as the actual if I pitch more often or whatever the case is, yeah, I'm built to throw a lot of pitches. I'm built to throw as very often. More so is built for 4 days than I am 5 days, as that's kind of the optimal recovery cycle that I've found that my body works best with. So yeah, I'm in a good spot, ready for whatever is thrown at me.
there's been a lot of talk about the World Series and after a 60 game season as a champion, really a champion or whatnot. But kind of along those lines, do you think that maybe even they should award a Cy Young or MVP? And would you look at those awards any differently after a 60 game season?
I'm not sure. You're gonna have to look at them differently. I don't know if they should award them or not. Um, I do know that guys going through the arbitration system, if they don't hand out awards, are gonna get hammered. It's such a big thing. The award recognition is such a big thing in the arbitration system that let's say a guy goes out and is clearly a top four pitcher in the league and would be an all star, and is in the arbitration system. If he doesn't get an all star recognition, then maybe not next year. I mean, maybe next year. I don't know. It's impossible to tell how arbitrators are going to respond to this season, but definitely the year after, if he's trying to catch up to where he would be in the market or whatever, he's going to get hammered for that. So I think they should award it. Maybe they don't have a game, but I think they should hand out the awards. At the end of the season, 2 months of a season. Maybe you count playoffs, probably not, but 2 months, 2.5 months is enough for to hand out at least midseason, traditionally midseason awards. And I think it needs to happen for the guys in the arbitration because they're going to get they need to have a fair shot at making their money and being able to advance through that system. So for that reason mainly, I think it's important.
How do you feel about all the health and safety protocols that you guys are going through?
I mean, whatever we got to do to play, I want to play. I know some guys feel differently. Some guys don't like it. Some guys like it. Some guys are more scared. Some guys are less scared of it. Obviously extenuating circumstances with family and at risk, and all the things that are going on. I'm personally not worried about it, but for the sake of everybody else around, and out of respect for not only the people in our clubhouse, but everybody we play against, and all their family and close relatives and all that. I'm good with whatever they have us do. And whatever we can do to keep baseball on the field and get through the whole season, I think that's the most important thing at this point. I shouldn't say the most important thing. Obviously, health of everybody is the most important thing, but for the game itself, like we need to get through the season.
Would you consider at all wearing a mask? Like, I think I saw Joe Cuomo pitching opposite you today, and he had a mask on. That's the first time I've seen that around here, at least. Is that something you're considering or would consider?
No, I won't be wearing a mask during a game. I have enough trouble breathing through my nose as is. I have some blockage and stuff like that. But so if I have a mask on, like, it's very hard for me to breathe. So I won't be wearing a mask for that reason. I don't feel like I could perform the same. I don't want to hurt my team by going out there and being able to get less oxygen, less recovery in between pitches, and being a worse pitcher than I would be without one. So I won't be wearing a mask during the game.
During the last few months, I mean, obviously you put out the videos of live batting practice with Dietrich and some other guys. What did you do besides, kind of the stuff you guys filmed?
So that was once or twice a week that we'd go out there. It's all part of my training schedule. So basically I have a cycle of recovery day, skill work, and then a velocity or max intent day. And I go through that twice a week. So we're going Wednesdays and Sundays live. Usually Tuesdays and Fridays are command work with a little bit of velo at the end. And then Thursdays and I guess Mondays are recovery days. And then in the middle of that, or on top of that, I guess, that's the throwing side. On top of that, I had 2 max lifts every week, an upper and a lower, and 2 like dynamic power days, an upper and a lower. So lifting 4 days a week, and then I had, for about a month and a half, I was doing core once or twice a week. So I was lifting on average 5 to 6 days a week. Set a new bench press PR, squat PR, deadlift PR, indoor mound velo PR the last week that I was in Arizona before I came out here. So I think when baseball shut down, I didn't think that baseball would be back before about July 1st. That was kind of the date I had in my head. So I looked at it and said, I got about 3 months, which is basically an off season. So I went through a month of hypertrophy, a month of, basically strength and like max strength combined with hypertrophy, and then a month of max strength with some power. And then I'm going through 3 weeks of basically speed on the speed strength or max speed side of the weightlifting spectrum. So I'll be in a good spot. I imagine I'll be like, primed and ready to go in about 2 weeks.
Did I see you work out at least once with Hunter Green? Was
Yeah.
that something?
Yeah.
What did you see from Hunter? I mean, we haven't seen him as much, maybe as up close as you have.
Yeah, I saw a kid that's really interested in learning and getting better, who's itching to get out there and play, who's been through obviously a rehab and wants to get out there and compete. So on the mental side of it, I think he's handled it really well. It's tough, obviously not. He was on track to get out there and play this year, and obviously that still has to be figured out how that's going to be handled, and obviously with no minor league season and stuff. So. But I saw that, an inquisitive mind, someone who asks questions and listens, wants to be as good as he can be, someone who has a lot that he can learn. Obviously, it's super exciting when that's the case, given his skill set and his natural ability. He's a young kid and has his head on really well. So excited for him to see his growth and development. I think we got a lot of people in the minor leagues that on the staff side. I think we got a lot of really good people that are going to be able to help him out a lot and answer a lot of the questions he has and give him the right direction. But I mean, I also saw he hit 102 in a pen, so like the natural ability is just spectacular. There's a reason that he was drafted where he was. There's a reason that everyone's so high on him. I'm really excited for him to get out there and be able to compete whenever that chance comes for him, because I know he's going to be in a better spot. His mechanics have cleaned up drastically. It's a dramatic change, dramatic difference. I actually think he's going to be he's going to throw harder probably now than he did before. More repeatable, probably recover better and be healthier. So you never want someone to go through surgery like that by any means, but the people who attack it as an opportunity to improve, to maximize their time, obviously as they're recovering, to get better in other areas, whether that's in the weight room, mentally, understanding knowledge, pitch design, stuff like that. Those are the people that come back, and you just get really excited to see him get out there and actually perform. So, I'm pumped for him. Hunter's a great kid. I've enjoyed working with him, and in the limited amount that I've had the opportunity to do so, and excited to see what he does when he gets back.
Is there any extra pressure on you just knowing, it's a short season, you're a free agent at the end of the year, trying to justify, the Reds traded for you kind of for this season?
I don't feel the pressure in that sense, but every game is worth 2.7 games. So going out there and, if you lose a game or you have a bad first inning, like, you may have just cost yourself 2.7 games basically, or what would traditionally be 2.7 games. So I love that importance, the higher stakes. I thrive in that environment. I get excited to go out there and pitch, and I think it's going to be a really interesting thing for baseball because regardless of how much a team tries to attack every game with max intensity and interest and competitiveness, like, after about the first week and a half of a season, it's like, oh man, we got a long season. Well, we lost today. We'll get them tomorrow. And there's just kind of like, I don't know the right word. Maybe like sleepwalking, or maybe lack of intensity in some games. A day game after a night game, that one extra innings or a rain delay, guys are tired, stuff like that. But there's no room for that this year. So I think everybody realizes that. Everyone's going to come to the field ready to play, and you're actually going to get probably the best look at every team, especially in the playoffs. Guys are going to be right in midseason form. It's going to be right around the time when pitchers are still performing at their max, and the hitters have gone through the first month and a half of like getting enough at bats under their belt to see pitches, and you're going to have probably a higher level of play leading into the playoffs than you would at any point in the year otherwise. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the higher stakes, for every game meaning more, for the competitiveness and the opportunity that we have as a team. As far as like justifying a trade or looking at free agency or whatever, that doesn't affect me. I want to pitch. That's what I care about. Going out there and performing to the best of my ability and helping us win.